pride and tears. That's exactly what filled the air at Nonsan as Cha Eun Woo, the shining star of ASTRO, stood tall in his military uniform during his graduation ceremony. Fans from all corners of the globe had been counting down the days to this moment. For many, seeing Eun Woo in the uniform wasn't just about his military duty. It was a symbol of resilience, maturity, and a powerful step in his journey as both a mun and an artist. The ceremony at Nonsan was filled with discipline and honor, but it was Eun Woo's presence that drew the spotlight. Not only did he graduate successfully, but he also stood out for being recognized as a platoon leader, a role reserved for those who show leadership, discipline, and the ability to inspire their fellow soldiers. And inspire he did. Witnesses at the graduation recall how Eun Woo carried himself with confidence and humility. His posture was straight, his salute sharp, and his smile, though brief, was enough to remind everyone why he has always been admired not just as an idol, but as a person. For fans, however, the moment was bittersweet. Seeing Eun Woo march with his unit, his uniform crisp, and his name called out with honor brought pride, but it also brought tears. Because in that instant, it hit everyone that their beloved star was truly living a life away from the spotlight, dedicating himself fully to his duty. Some fans who attended shared how emotional the moment was. One said, when his name was called, the cheers couldn't be contained. He looked so proud, yet so humble. We cried because it felt like we were watching him grow right before our eyes. Another added, he wasn't just Cha Eun Woo, the celebrity. He was Lee Dong-min, the soldier, the leader, the mun we admire even more now. It was also reported that Eun Woo's fellow soldiers deeply respect him. His ability to adjust quickly, maintain discipline, and support others has earned him admiration not just from fans, but also from those who serve beside him. But what really touched hearts was a small, tender moment during the ceremony. Eun Woo, standing among his comrades, briefly looked toward the crowd where some fans had gathered. Though cameras were restricted, those who saw him said his eyes softened, and for a second, it felt like he was silently thanking everyone who continued to believe in him. Back online, the news of his graduation went viral. Fans flooded social media with hashtags like #ProudOfChaeunwoo and #LeaderEunwoo, sharing clips, photos, and heartfelt messages. Some even trended emotional edits of Eun Woo, comparing his past idol moments with his present military role, showing the incredible transformation he's undergone. And of course, the emotional reaction wasn't just about pride. Many fans couldn't help but wonder how this milestone in his military journey would influence his future. Would Eun Woo return stronger than ever? Would he take on more mature roles in acting? Or perhaps, would he reflect this discipline and strengthen his music with ASTRO? One thing was certain, this graduation wasn't just an official step in his service. It was a defining chapter of growth. For Eun Woo himself, the path ahead is still long, but moments like this remind everyone that behind the polished idol is a mun who works hard, carries responsibility with grace, and continues to inspire through both his talent and his character. As fans wiped their tears and cheered from near and far, the message was clear. They are waiting, proud, and ready to welcome him back when the time comes. Because in the end, Cha Eun Woo's story is not just about stardom. It's about humanity, dedication, and the journey of a mun who shines in every role he takes on, whether it's as an idol, an actor, or now, as a soldier leading with pride. Pride and tears indeed. Cha Eun Woo's military graduation has left fans emotional, and it will be remembered as one of the most inspiring milestones of his journey. The day of Cha Eun Woo's military graduation at Nonsan will be remembered not just as a milestone for him, but as an unforgettable moment for every fan who has stood by him since his debut. The sight of him standing tall, wearing his uniform, carrying the pride of his country, and shining as a platoon leader was more than enough to stir emotions around the world. Fans, both Korean and international, filled social media platforms with heartfelt words of admiration. Many said that they had never seen Eun Woo glow so brightly, not on stage, not in dramas, but in this moment of discipline, courage, and achievement. For many, it wasn't just about a K-pop idol completing a chapter in his life, but about watching someone they had loved for years step into a new level of maturity. Tears were shed as Eun Woo addressed his platoon, his voice steady but emotional. Reports said that he thanked his fellow soldiers for their brotherhood and promised to continue living with the same dedication he had learned during his training. One of the most touching parts was when he mentioned ASTRO and his fans, acknowledging how their letters, their unwavering support, and their constant encouragement had given him the strength to push through even the hardest days in the military. What made this graduation even more special was the way his fellow soldiers respected him. They described him not as a celebrity who stood apart, but as a brother who carried his weight equally, who showed leadership not by commanding, but by standing with them through sweat, exhaustion, and hardship. His promotion to platoon leader was not given because of his fame. It was earned through grit, perseverance, and a heart that led with kindness. Fans couldn't hold back their emotions when images and clips began circulating online. Many were struck by how Eun Woo's usual soft, angelic visuals now carried a new depth, an aura of responsibility, resilience, and pride. They said that it felt like watching him transform right before their eyes, becoming not only a star but a true role model. But while pride filled the air, so did longing. The graduation reminded fans that Cha Eun Woo still has time left in his service, and though he has achieved so much already, they must continue waiting for his safe return. This bittersweet feeling created a wave of emotions, pride for his accomplishments, sadness for the distance, and anticipation for the day he finally comes back to the stage and screen. Rumors quickly began swirling online. Some fans speculated that Eun Woo might use this opportunity to share a more personal message with his fans soon, perhaps through his agency, or maybe even a handwritten letter. Others wondered whether ASTRO might be preparing a special project to honor Eun Woo while he continues his service. The air is filled with questions, but also with one strong certainty: Eun Woo is deeply loved and deeply missed. His graduation also sparked emotional reactions from fellow celebrities. Though no official statements were made, fans noticed subtle gestures: an old ASTRO member posting a quiet message about pride and strength, an actress who once worked with Eun Woo sharing a photo with a caption about growth and honor. These quiet signs only fueled fans' emotions, making them feel as though Eun Woo's journey is not only his own, but one shared with everyone whose life he has touched. More than anything, this graduation showed the world that Cha Eun Woo is not just an idol, not just an actor, not just a celebrity. He is a man who embraces every challenge with grace and dignity. His growth inside the military is shaping a future that fans are eagerly waiting for. A future where he comes back stronger, wiser, and ready to touch even more hearts with his music, his acting, and his humanity. For now, fans hold onto the pride of knowing that their star is shining brightly even in the toughest of circumstances. His uniform may replace his stage costumes, and his marching may replace his dance moves, but the light of Cha Eun Woo continues to burn just as brightly, if not brighter than ever before. As one fan movingly wrote online, "Today, we cried tears of pride. Tomorrow, we'll keep waiting. And one day, we'll welcome him back with even more love than before." And that is the beauty of this moment. Pride, tears, and an unbreakable bond between Cha Eun Woo and the people who will never stop supporting him.